growing cycle. Think these 5-year cycles in your life. Very, very important. It's archetypal energies connected to the earth. It's connected to creativity. Also connected to grief and loss and more. We'll talk about it in depth. That's one of these other modules. But you'll see just right off the get-go,
They vote against banning child marriages. We're just gonna go through a little bit of my feed today. It is what's today? It is May 17th over there. 7:25 Hawaiian time. So most of the United States is asleep. It's about a 6-hour difference. Y'all are in tomorrow. I'm in the past. Water levels dropped in Lake Tahoe. So let's catch you up on the world, right? 36 Oklahoma Republicans vote against banning child marriages, but I think they lost. Hopefully. I think it went through, but they're just telling you that these people voted against. Um,
One thing I love is like when I was coming up in college, we started Black Book Reading Club, at the University of Illinois, and we were into like conspiracy theories and just deep African knowledge, and we did all of it. We read all the dope books like Stolen Legacy, Destruction of Black Civilization. I was reading the real Black Athena, ISIS Papers, all of these books. And one thing I love is brothers. I miss that. Brothers that be breaking down, they'll take go. Let me tell you, real reason is because, Pythagoras was part of the sun god, and the sun god came from the mountains of Athenia. And I love brothers like this. You gotta watch this brother break down Chud the Builder, man. I love it. Listen to it right now. Chud the Builder. When it comes to his situation, it is way deeper than the multimedia news is perceiving it to be. Because everything that takes place in the physical world happens spiritual first. Now, Chud the Builder, he made his way to fame by antagonizing black people. After I seen some of his videos, I did some independent research. Now, when you break down the etymology of his name, it means ignorant, buffoon, unintelligent. But it gets worse. Just wait. In 1984, there was a movie called Chud that came out, which stood for cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers who are basically the embodiments of draconian reptilians. Now, when you get into connotative linguistics, when you study the digraphs of certain words, the word chud is equated to the Chitahari that Credo Mutawa talked about, who was a Zulu shaman. When you look at the nomenclature title for the word chud, the builder, is equated to Freemasonic magic because a builder is an architect, which is connected to that blueprint in the script of Freemasonry, because that's why he's being used as a catalyst to cause chaos. He's causing chaos for the Chitahari, the Chuds, who are the Draconian reptilians, because they feed off the emotional energy of black people. Now, he's currently facing 25 years, and he also has a $1.25 million bond. Now, when it comes to that energy, you got to understand that we're in the last sun cycle. So when you try to go against the original people during the time of the sun cycle, that's like breaking universal law. We're not in the old age no more. We're not in the Piscean age of darkness when y'all was propagating racism. That shit is
we're in the age of Aquarius.
So what goes around comes around by way of the law of reciprocity. Energy expands and returns right back to your motherfucking ass. One thing I love is like when I was coming up in college, we started Black.
The land was stolen. Millions were killed to keep it. Generations of white wealth were built on top of it.
At this point, I can't tell if it's the racism the arrogance, the ignorance, or the stupidity, or a combination of all of that.
I would really appreciate if any former First Lady would release a statement and just say, I stand in support of this First Lady. Because that absence of commentary in the way of many... Michelle Obama is on her podcast all the time. We've heard her thoughts on a lot of things. Can she just spare one sentence in support of this First Lady who has been through so much, who has a target on her in the public square and out? It is horrifyingly atrocious how she has been treated. I would love for there to be some support coming out of her mouth.
I don't know who this goofy chick is, and I'm going to call her goofy because the other words I want to use, I'm not going to use. But let me get this straight. You want Michelle Obama, the first black First Lady of this country, to come out in support of an administration and a First Lady whose husband has done nothing but shit on her husband from day one? You want Michelle Obama to come out in support of an administration whose supporters call Michelle Obama an ape in heels. That's what you want. You want Michelle Obama to come out and say some words of encouragement and support of the woman who's married to a dude who literally said that her husband's presidency was illegitimate because he's not a citizen of this country. That's who you want. You want her to come out and speak in defense of her? Again, the level of tone deaf with you motherfuckers is insane. Sometimes it's better for you not to say anything. You want any of the former First Ladies to come out in support of an administration that has operated in plain cruelty? What kind of sense is that? What encouraging words could they say about a woman who is letting her husband destroy the country? What words could they say to help her feel better about the fact that this dude has people hungry?